Hey everyone, Carrie back here with Family eBiz, where we help families start and grow online businesses so they can find freedom in their life to do the things that are important to them. We have been talking about business systems. Today, we're going to finish that out. If you missed our last episode, go back and watch that. It's all about what are business systems, why do we have them, all the general ideas about a business system. If you don't have a system, you probably are not able to grow and scale. You are stuck with you doing everything all the time, and that's not good. Today, what I want to do is take an audit of your business in these different systems to see what's working and what's not and where you need to improve. Before we dive into that, I would love it if you would just subscribe to this channel. It would get this message out to more and more people. So just click the subscribe button and I'd love it. Some of these places have comments, so feel free to leave a comment. That would be awesome. And I will be checking on those as well. All right, I sort of divided this episode into two sections, our audit and then the different systems that you need to put into place. So let's talk about this business audit. We want to use this sometimes to finish a quarter strong or to get started strong in a new year or a new quarter. Now is the time. We are in fall when I'm recording this. So this is the perfect time to do it, to be ready for 2025 and have everything set up. The problem is too often, if you're like me, I'm flying by the seat of my pants without a plan or a system. Not completely. I actually do have plans and systems in place, but I throw things in every once in a while. And then since I don't have a system, it's all up to me. And then I get tied down in something that maybe isn't that profitable. So we want to take an audit today. How does this work? And by the way, there will be a link wherever you're listening to this in the show notes to our free audit workbook that you can sign up for and grab, print out, and do your little audit. So what I think you need to do is you need to write down the systems that you already have in place. You don't have to describe them, just the titles of what those systems are. You might put a few little notes about what the system is, and then you need to start to think and answer questions. Do they work? Do they meet your goals? Are you making money with them? Now, not everything is an income producing activity, but each of these systems should help you make money. If so, if you answer yes to any of those questions, do you have SOPs, standard operating procedures for each of those systems? If not, go ahead and write them. If these are not working, they're not meeting your goals, and you're not making money, then what do you need to do to improve them? You need to tweak and make changes. Don't keep doing the same thing over and over and expect different results. All right, you need to make some changes if they're not working. So that's the business audit. Now, let's talk about, I think I have 5 systems in place. The last one is one that we don't often talk about. So I hope you will stick around and listen to the end. Content. And this is for online businesses more. Content system, especially information product type business. Excuse me. Just one second. Content. Now, this content can be our free value packed content, or it could be paid value packed content. Are you giving things out with a blog or a podcast or a YouTube? Do you have a calendar for how you're getting this content prepared and out to the world? Do you have a sharing system? How are you sharing it? Through email, social media, videos, whatever. Do you have a system for your images? Do you have a system for your keywords? All of those things are included in a content system. How are you doing? And I will say this is more probably your free content that you're getting and you're trying to grow your email list with. So one is content. Next is our email system. How often do you email people? What are you including? One of the tips I like to share with people is what types of information do you send? I recommend, and I actually learned this from my business mentor Amy Porterfield, 1/3 promotion, 1/3 personal, and 1/3 value content. Not in those orders. Sometimes an email will be all of one, and the next one will be maybe personal. On the next one may be value. It depends. Or you may have one email that actually scattered throughout it. A third of it is about personal, getting to know you, like you, trust you, so they'll buy from you. A third might be free content, a third paid. I personally believe that an email has one job. And so sometimes I think we need to focus on one call to action instead of three, four, or five. But you do need to include personal, free value pack, and paid promotional ideas. Do you have a follow-up system? Are you using campaigns or whatever your email service provider uses? Are you tagging people? And a lot of us tag, but then we never use the tags. So use the tags to segment and send people what they want. And don't send people things that aren't interested. Like if you maybe you're into quilting and maybe you've got a beginner group and a medium, not totally advanced group. Well, you can tag when you have a new blog post, you could send your beginner group a lot more emails about your new getting started blog post and where your other people aren't going to necessarily need it. I do this also in a promotion. I will tag, and if someone hadn't opened my email by the end of the promotion, I don't need to send them reminders. They don't even know what's going on. So, are you using your tags and segments? And then how are you using your emails for sales and for launches? So content system, email system, sales funnel system. I think it's important. We've got a sales funnel, and I'm not going to go into what all that is. The bottom is your paid products. You need to see what is your paid product and then work up. What's a medium price thing? And then what's our lead magnet at the top? Do you have a system for coming up with that? Do you have a system for using it? Do you have tripwires in the middle of this? How are you marketing or promoting your sales funnel? How are you keeping track of what's selling in your sales funnel? Where do you deliver it? Where do these things reside so people can go get them? That's all in your sales funnel system. A marketing system, that's where I spend a lot of time. And there's so many parts of this. It's email, social media, SEO, that includes Google and Pinterest, webinars. All of those are part of your marketing system. You may need a little subsystem. Now, I already talked about the email because I do believe that is so important. But the email under the marketing is mostly just for promotions. All right. So, do we have a system to work that out? So, content, email, sales funnel, marketing, and then the last one is a work system. Do you have a plan for when you work, or do you just go sit down and get sidetracked in Facebook there, shiny object here, there, and everywhere? Or do you have a system for how you are going to get things done? Some things you might consider is, when do you work? What time of day or what days of the week do you work? When do you plan for that day? Like last night, I'm on a paper and pencil plan right now. Sometimes I'm all online, but I have these little pieces of paper each day. Well, last night, before I closed out, I looked at what was done and what wasn't done, and then I just numbered the things I needed to do. So today, when I sat down, it was actually zero because I thought about it afterwards. So I went and worked on that, and then I was working on number one or two, whatever it is. When do you plan? And I personally think it's better to plan at the end of your work time for the next work time, because otherwise you're going to waste 15 or 20 minutes trying to remember what you did yesterday, or whenever you worked last. When do you work? When do you plan for each day? And what do you do when you are working? Where do you work? I know one of our mastermind members, Danielle, she has an appointment every Friday at the coffee shop for only work. And I will just highly recommend, when you are doing a task and a project like that, close off Facebook, email. Don't get any notifications for any of that. It just distracts you. Do you have a system for work? So we have content, email, sales funnel, marketing, and work systems. Those are things you need to take an audit of and find out where your holes are and where you can improve as well. Now, like I said, we do have our free audit workbook, and there'll be a link to that. You can go grab it. It will just give you some charts that for each of the systems that you have, and you have other systems. Like in marketing, you may actually have a webinar system. We do. In your sales funnel, you should have a launch system. And so when you're going to launch and how you're going to get your lead magnets down to your page. So there may be some subsystems in there as well, but there'll be some spaces to write your systems. There'll be the questions you need to ask about each one of these systems about, do they work? Are they meeting goals? Do they make money? And then what kind of improvements? What should we do moving forward? Say, maybe just the next quarter, just take a little chunk and see what's working. And then that end of that quarter, you can reevaluate again, maybe take another business audit. Hey, thanks for spending time with me. Oh, I forgot one more thing. If you're listening to this when I actually publish it this week, we do have a free masterclass, and I invite you to come. I would love for you to join me. I am going to actually, we're going to dive deep into making money. What are some more ways that you can make money with your online business? Whether you are creating content to sell, or whether you're using a blog to make money, or a podcast, whatever. What are 5 ways that you can make more money with your business? Hey, thanks for spending time with me. I am Carrie Beck with Family eBiz. We'll talk to you next time.